We are starting our last bit, section 6.6. It is the word problems. I will go through at least one of them with you, maybe more than one, depending on how hard you guys are working. And if you have not done all the rest of the work up until now, you're really going to struggle with this. So if you're watching this video and trying to, take notes with me, you may want to go back and do the graphs of sine and cosine stuff, because this is really dependent on that. And we know how many of us did that before the quiz, so you may need to stop and go back. So in this, I give you, like at the top here, it says sinusoidal functions. Sinusoidal could be sine or cosine. It doesn't mean that it has to be a sine graph. Sinusoidal just means it follows the wave. In this equation that I give you, A here is the amplitude, and remember that that is always the absolute value, so no negative amplitudes. The vertical shift is that letter K there, and that goes with our midline, y equals K. And the phase shift in this was the H, and then period would be 2 pi over B. Now, I would have written this differently because I have been telling you that period is 2 pi over K and calling that number K. It's okay, it's just a different letter, but it means the same thing. I'll still probably call it K when I'm doing my work, but just know that if we're looking at this graph or this version of the equation, which I think Mr. Feig wrote, and I'm not blaming him or anything, I'm just saying he uses the letter B, I use the letter K, we can use whatever letter we want, and it's still exactly the same because you will know which pieces go in there. So the equation of D equals 3.1 sine 0.523 m minus 3 plus 13.6 models the amount of daylight in somewhere Indiana for the middle of any given month of the year. The equation m equals 1 represents the middle of January, 2 represents February, and we continue on. So find the period of the function, the amplitude, the vertical shift, and the phase shift, and then sketch the function for 2 years. So 2 years, I'm going to write it out already, is 24 months. Okay, so you need to sketch it out for 24 months. So period is 2 pi over this number here, so 0.523. And if you do this in a calculator, you're going to get 12 or something close to 12. And 12 should make sense because there are 12 months in a year, and we're talking about January, February, March, we're talking about all the months in a year. So the period is 12. The amplitude is 3.1. I got that from right here. The vertical shift is here, plus 13.6. And the phase shift is, I'm running out of colors, this right here, we moved right 3. Then it wants us to sketch the function. So I know that I gotta have 0 here, and then I'm gonna start at 1. I know it says like 1 represents the middle of January, so I'm just going to keep going so that I have I'm going to keep labeling these by months, but I want you guys to notice that since I'm starting at month 1, and then I add 24 to that, I have to end at month 25. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15... 18, I got to keep going, 19, 20, 21, and 25. All right, so that should be good. I am going to draw in my midline, which I circled up here in green. I'm just going to estimate where it is. So this is 13.6, and I'm going to make sure to label it. My amplitude is 3.1, so that means I'm going to go up to 13.6 plus 3.1. So up to 16.7, and then if I take 13.6 and subtract 3.1, get 10.5. So that's my bottom here. Okay. Let's see. What else do I need to know? Oh, and then I'm going to do my vertical shift. My phase shift. I'm going to start over here at 3. And so when I start plotting, I also need to remember it's a sine graph. So sine starts in the middle and then moves up. So at 3, I'm going to be in the middle. And since the period is 12 months, I would also end 12 months later in the middle. So that's at 15, right? 3 plus 12 is 15. So halfway between there which I think is going to be month 9. That seems right. Plus, yep, I should also be at the middle. Halfway between there, which is going to be 6, I should be at the top. And at 12, I'm going to be at the bottom. So then you could keep going. I'm kind of out of room. Hopefully you're not. But you could graph your 2 cycles. So you'll be up at the top, middle. I missed one. Top, middle, bottom. And somewhere over here we would be at the, let's see, 3, 24, 25, 26, 27. Okay. So we would be over here at the at the middle again, so you can find that. Okay. So I need to kind of shrink this down. Move this. What is the least amount of daylight for this town? Well, that's at the bottom. Okay, 10.5. That's when ours hits the bottom of our graph. It says, for what value does this occur? That's right here. Month 12. Well, we know that. That's December. What's the greatest amount of daylight for this town? It's up here at our maximum. That is, let me scoot up a little bit here. It's 16.7 hours of daylight. And when does that happen? 6, and that's June. Find the number of hours of daylight in the middle of September. That's month 9, and I think 9 is on our graph here. So that will be 13.6. The last one, though, is not. It says, evaluate the function when m equals 7 and state what the answer means. So you need to come back up here and put in 7 right here and say what the answer means when you do that. I'm going to let you do that. You're going to use your calculator for that. There is our first example.